My next guest on Athcast Music are simply one of the best musicians to come out of Athens in the 2000s. I'm so sorry if I offend some of my other guests, but it's true, and they all probably think so as well. What's that Facebook shortcut? IYKYK, if you know, you know. Well, there you have it. My guests are Andrea DeMarcus and Dave Kirslis of Cicada Rhythm. The first time I saw them play, oh my God, I really had never heard anything like them, and I tried once or twice to compare them. Keyword here, tried. If I tried, maybe I might be able to come up with someone maybe like the Avett brothers. But even then, it's still hard. Ever since hearing them, I try to see them every time they play here in Athens. It is music that doesn't just touch your soul, it surrounds it. Andrea and Dave met in 2011 after Andrea finished at Juilliard, and Dave quit jumping on and off freight trains. One day, he jumped off near a friend's house for a visit. Andrea was there, and fate took place. They started writing together, realizing that they were the collaboration needed to move them forward from old dreams to new ones. Their latest album is Magic State, and it certainly lives up to its name. I can't begin to tell you how my conversation with Andrea and Dave stopped my daily thoughts about this world. Maybe not forever, but just for one moment. Here is me with Andrea DeMarcus and Dave Kirslis. Welcome to Athcast Music.
Thank you.
I am so excited. I have Andrea DeMarcus and Dave Kirslis. Is that how you say it?
Curse less.
Curse less.
Cuss more and curse less.
Oh, curse less.
Yeah.
But it's not spelled like that.
I know. It got misspelled as... It's Lithuanian and it got misspelled.
Oh, there you go.
When
Are
they
you
got
sure,
to,
though? I thought that was a type of fish.
Because I even checked and someone told me it was, but they didn't know either. So it's curseless.
Curse less, yeah.
Less.
Yeah, and I know it got misspelled because I found on one of those genealogy reports or whatever that it used to, it was like a character with a Y and a dot on top of it. It's one of those. And they just didn't know what that was over here, so it got turned into an I.
I see.
My mother's parents were from Lithuania.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
We got something in common already.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So the first time I saw you guys was at Hendershot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was musically stunned.
Thank you.
I don't know how to say it any other way. It was just like, what? What is this? What?
Aww.
I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to ask you first.
Sure.
Where did this voice come from?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I grew up singing. Actually, that's part of my lore. My parents said that I would never shut up. So they got me music lessons, piano lessons, and I sang in church growing up. But I kind of had that traditional choir voice growing up. I was always a loud singer and very forthcoming. But I think it wasn't until college when I really discovered my timbre, my actual timbre, and my power, where it sits, and that's kind of when I developed that sound.
Because how do you? Well, I'm not going to even try and analyze it, but how do you describe your voice?
Ooh, I describe it as a beacon, as it's almost piercing, but it's still got this, this softness around it that makes it present. So I think it's demanding, but it's beautiful at the same time.
It is. Is it like a beacon that attracts sailors in the night?
Ooh, I
mean,
know.
'cause
Does it? Is it?
Because I would say you attracted me. I don't know if I'm a sailor, but my dad said I curse like one. So
Ooh, close enough.
maybe that's where it is.
Close
and,
enough.
and I mean, how was it possible? Well, I'm going to say, Dave, your voice almost sometimes is a male version of hers
I do.
in a very quirky way, but it really has some of the same tone.
Yeah, we do definitely have kind of a higher timbre, and I definitely learned a lot about singing through Andrea, because before Andrea, I was just kind of imitating guys that I was seeing at dive bars and blues joints and just a bunch of hollering, and then Andrea was like, "Oh, harmony."
Harmony
So
is huge with us.
I
I would agree with
Yeah, I learned a good bit from her, and then
thank you.
the guys that I was watching in Atlanta.
So, well, all right, let's talk about learning from Andrea and learning from Dave. You went to Juilliard. Give me just a little snippet of how did you get there, and why did you really want to go?
That's a question no one's ever asked me. So like I said, I grew up playing music, and that was what I was best at. And when I started playing the upright bass, I had a few teachers, and they kind of pushed me towards this classical, traditional world. And that was kind of the only world I knew of that I could succeed and follow music and really have a career, I guess. I didn't really, I mean, I'd grown up listening to bands and loving music and every type of music, but I didn't really know that I had access to music in the way that I do it now. But
Like education?
like bands,
okay.
you know, or education, you know. I just kind of saw that as like the pinnacle of success in this classical form. And so my teacher just said, audition here, and I did, and then I got scholarship, and everyone was like, well, obviously you got to go to Juilliard, so I did.
Were you terrified? Or did you take it like, okay, let's give it a whiz right here?
I don't think I was terrified. I think I felt lucky and excited. And I was really competitive growing up. That's kind of what kept me going, was beating all the boys at upright bass. That was my passion.
Okay.
I'm not as competitive anymore, but
Well, in that age, in that world, you probably had to.
Totally. There was, and that was kind of the spirit in that world of classical. It was how much are you practicing, how, like, what awards are you getting, what summer camp are you going to, you know, like it was all, what can I do to build my resume and get to where I want to be. But I think it was in college when I realized that world wasn't nourishing me the way that I needed to be.
And Dave, you were completely opposite. You taught yourself.
Yeah, like many guitar players, just started following the guys that I found interesting, and I was going to places like Northside Tavern in Atlanta and Blind Willie's.
I remember North. That was in Duluth or Alpharetta, right there, wasn't it?
There's a place called Nick's in Marietta area. It was also a blues bar. But Northside Tavern was kind of close to Georgia Tech.
Okay, well that would make sense.
And Blind Willie's is in like Virginia Highlands.
Oh yeah. I've been to Blind Willie's many times.
Yeah, and there was guys. There was bands. Let's see, Uncle Sugar with Eddie Tigner. I was always watching him, and Nate Nelson and the Entertainment Crackers. They were a lot of fun. Joe McGinnis, Sean Costello, Donnie McCormick.
I remember Sean. We distributed a Sean Costello.
Oh, really?
At Koch, as a matter of fact.
He's such a talent.
Yeah.
One of the best performers I've ever seen. And then Oliver Wood from the Wood Brothers was a huge influence.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see that. Well, you went back to Georgia to kind of figure out things.
Totally. That's exactly what happened.
And you quit jumping freight trains. And
Yeah.
got off the train to visit a friend, correct? And
This is true.
then
We met.
you met her at your friend's house, right?
No,
Or
at
another
the
place.
at the train track. She was with
What?
Yeah, she was
What?
with him at the train track, and that was the first time we met. And I always say it was it wasn't love at first sight, because she was just like, this guy's crazy, and I was covered in like
Those are your
soot.
words. I did not say that.
Well, her eyebrows said
My
it.
eyebrows say a lot. That's true.
That is, yeah. She's got talking now on her eyebrows. Okay, well, so that's a gift.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. But yeah, that's how we first met.
But why were you jumping freight trains?
Well, I
for
was
good.
broke.
For fuck's sake, let me just say.
I was broke, and I was looking for like a North American red-blooded adventure, and I feel like that was one of the few ones that are left. And
Yeah, red-blooded because you bled all the time from jumping off the freaking things.
But yeah, another reason I was jumping them was because I was singing these train songs, and I just wanted to know what I was talking about. There's a lot of train songs, and then
Elizabeth Cotton.
Elizabeth Cotton Freight Train. Yeah,
We used to play
Oh,
that
I
song.
love that. I love that song.
Yeah. And then I read about it in high school, and I was reading the Depression and just seeing all the Americans that used to do that. Kind of got the bug for it. And it was a really cool way to see America. You go through these like old ghost towns and mill towns.
Oh, yeah.
And, just kind of see life used to really revolve around the train tracks.
But did you have to really run and get on?
They slowed down in residential areas.
So you had enough time
So
to...
unless it's a really high priority freight, then there was a couple times I had to jump off a high priority freight where it wasn't slowing down and we needed to leave. But when hopping on, definitely you got to go when they're slow.
I gotta say, I can't imagine.
Yeah, that's
I
not
certainly love the
the lore.
lore, exactly, and the Dust Bowls, and that whole area where people were mainly doing it. But so you, from what I read, a little bit about you, were trying to figure out where your songwriting was taking you, what path it was taking you, and was it the correct one?
Totally.
Tell me, just give me a little bit about that, because
Yeah.
I don't want to take the words out of your mouth. And I could do that if I wanted to. probably.
Well, I bet you could.
I don't talk very much.
I think I was really what I was lacking in my musical journey was creativity. And so I really was searching for an artistry that I hadn't experienced before, writing songs, collaborating, making music with people that's not written on a page, something that's alive, and that belongs to me. And I was really inspired by that, and especially writing songs with Dave became medicine and love and fun and
A whole new world.
yeah, storytelling, and I love stories,
And did you think at the time that you really were kind of walking up the right path, but even if you weren't, you might be able to turn back and go the other way?
I pretty much sealed that door when I left, and I feel confident about that choice. I mean, I think
No regrets.
no regrets. I do sometimes miss making music with 120 people. It's
Oh, hell yeah.
it's amazing. It's but I don't necessarily feel like everyone else felt that way. Maybe that's how I felt when I was that age. But to me, music was something that needed to be felt and experienced, and joy needed to come from it and given freely, and then
But you weren't feeling that from what you were doing at all? Except for the volume and the direction that somebody could, say, do this, do this, do this, and this unbelievable music was being made.
Totally.
But it still
Sometimes-
wasn't touching your
Sometimes,
huh?
sometimes it would, and it was beautiful then. And I was always a very expressive player, but it was shunned to be that expressive. And so I think that the way that I performed didn't really mesh with that world. And so I kind of felt like I was being controlled and told how I could make music. And I really did not vibe with that.
What do you mean by you were expressive? By when you do this kind of stuff with your hand, where you're and you're really
well, that's
moving.
vibrato. But I really, when you play classical music, you're supposed to, you're supposed to sit in a certain way and be still and, like take it very seriously. And I was even to this day, I move a lot. I sway.
Yes.
I'm emoting with
So it
my
was
body.
your body, yeah.
Right. Yes. Yes. Totally. And so, yeah.
And Dave, so you jump off this train. That wasn't the last time you jumped off the train, or was it?
I think I maybe did it one time after that, but once we got together, it
But
ended.
once you met her, you were thinking, okay, this is true inspiration. This is like nothing I've ever experienced before. I mean, what was going on in your head there?
Well, when I first met her that day, I was just thankful they let me in the car. I got the ride home.
They didn't make you go get in the creek and walk off or anything?
We had rode to Athens and then rode back. I think was that trip, and yeah, we stayed friends for a good bit before the band started. But I was always really impressed with Andrea, and she was always very creative and musical. And yeah,
Well, that's awesome because I was reading about cicadas.
That's
'Cause-
cool.
I know what cicadas are. I know they're, making a statement out there with their little wings and stuff. But it's really very interesting how you came to the name of Cicada Rhythm. But, well, you tell me how I know, but maybe not everybody does.
well, we chose
It's not as deep as you think.
I know
is.
it.
We
I know it.
realized
That's what I was so shocked about.
the name kind of chose us, and we slowly began to realize that it was a really good fit after we did an open mic 2 weeks after starting to write songs together. We signed up for an open mic at Eddie's Attic, and we had to have a title for the group. And so the day of the show, we were pretty in a frenzy trying to figure out, we got to figure out a name now, like choose something. And I came up with Rhythm Oil, and then she came up with Cicada Village, and then
And I'm
we
reading
just
this and
combined
like, okay, what the hell? But okay.
yeah.
But the Cicada Rhythm. So I think that's serendipitous myself.
Yeah,
I
I think you're right.
because I think that's who you guys are. And I'm going to say why.
Okay.
I'm going to read this, okay?
Let's go.
Periodic cicadas exhibit unique rhythms in their life cycles. Notably, their synchronized periodic emergences from the ground after years of development as nymphs. These emergences are typically either 13 or 17 years apart for periodical cicada species, a phenomenon that ensures safety in numbers and enhances reproductive success. So this really, I said, well, this is them. I mean, not maybe like in the insect world, but in the world, in your synchronization of each other, because do you feel that you came together immediately when you met, and you said, well, it wasn't love at first sight or whatever by her, but did you think there was immediately something there that it's
I think once the music started, I would say it really came to a T.
Well, we definitely had a memorable beginning. I will say that. And then we would talk on the phone a lot. That was kind of how we incubated our friendship. We would talk all the time. And then we dated, and then we took a year off, and then we started the band, and then we got together again, and it's definitely been these ebbs and flows for sure. And even the way we release albums, like there's been a number of years between the last one and this one.
I know that.
Wait,
I wasn't even going to mention that.
I think it's been 7 years.
It's one of the life cycles.
2018.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go.
It's 7 years.
Yeah.
I was
Like the
surprised.
cicada.
I actually checked your discography like 3 times. I'm not kidding. Wait a minute. There's no album in between. But
COVID. Yeah.
with your music that you're doing now and been doing, the cicada part about the reproductive success is really what toned me or honed me into to you two, because I feel like you're constantly with these albums giving a rebirth of your music, and there is reproductive success with each one, just not in a sexual manner, in a musically manner.
Totally.
And both of you were struggling with your songwriting and not really knowing. And I just believe that fate took place.
I think
And
so
that,
too.
that's exactly how you really connect with your music.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because the first EP we ever made was called Fate in a Jar.
Oh yeah. Fate in a jar.
We burned them in our computer, and we stamped a little
Yeah.
jar on it.
And it took off in Bandcamp. You know Bandcamp.
Yeah.
We got we put that out, and then Bandcamp featured us on.
And I
that
love the
download.
drawing of it. The
Oh,
jar
yeah.
was a mason
Yeah,
jar,
yeah.
which I love.
Cute. Yes.
Well, so and there's so many people to play with in this town, and that helps with some of the collaborations and some of the stuff you did with your next album. But I had Jim White on season
Nice.
2.
Yeah.
Cool.
I met. What happened with this? Let me see. I saw him, and I also had kind of a musical stunning of sorts, not in a very different way than yours, because his music was so wordy.
Yeah.
His book, when I got it, I was cursing him the whole time I read it. Holy God!
I still
Look at
wanna read
these
that.
words. Oh
Yeah.
my God! I'm never
He's
going to
a
read this book.
prolific writer. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, I never put it down.
Nice.
So I really loved, but I was always cursing him about those words, And then sometimes I'd curse him because it wasn't on the Y. It went from X to Y back and forth. It wasn't a vertical timeline. It was sometimes on the X, sometimes on the Y. Back and forth, and you're trying to figure out where the hell is he right now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to stay
But
focused.
then I said, well, it doesn't matter. But one of the most beautiful things I came across when I was researching him is Germany. And I still play that video when I want to hear the two of you together, Jim
Aw.
White and you guys.
Yeah.
First of all, how cold was it?
It was
You guys-
cold.
It
Eyes were
was
buried up in gloves and
insane.
hats.
What was it in Germany? I thought it was in the Netherlands.
Well, maybe it was
I
the
think it was in
Netherlands.
the
I'm sorry.
Netherlands.
I don't
Yeah.
know
Doesn't
where
matter.
this place is.
But I will say that the production staff came out with those gloves.
They
the
were like,
fingerless
we have
gloves.
fingerless gloves. And we were like,
Yes, you
why
did.
can't we just be inside?
Yeah.
Can't we be
because
inside?
that's their venue, right?
I loved it. I thought they did it. They did a really great job. There was like a guy in a Sprinter van with a studio in
I
the
mean,
back.
if you had seen it, though, we were literally like in a crawl space.
No, we were in a parking garage or something.
No, you were out in a field. Something you were.
field?
There was a wall behind you, though.
Yeah.
But there was a big building
yes.
behind you.
Yes.
Like way far
We
off.
were
Oops,
talking
sorry,
about different-
hit the mic there.
Yeah.
Way off in the distance.
Yeah. I know the video you're talking about. I'm really glad that got captured because that was basically at the tail end of the UK tour we did with with Jim, and we did, I think, 14 dates
Yeah.
in the UK. And then we just split off in our own directions from there.
Yeah.
And then we came back just for that one moment in the Netherlands. And he was like, let's do this. It was one of his connections. And it's really nice to go back. I go back and listen
You
to it
have to.
sometimes.
I have played it for many people. I put it on my. I mean, I
Yeah.
put it on my social media as well.
you.
I have not read Jim's new book, but Reason to Cry.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, well, God, I got a reason to cry after that one. That I loved all of the songs. I loved every single one of them. I'm telling you, I just watch it when sometimes I'm laying in bed and I just
Wow.
want to hear it because the two things together was just musically just so heavenly. And when he started the Reason to Cry, I'm like, oh, well, this is kind of a real slow, and then he did the chorus, and then I was just like, oh my gosh. So
He's a great writer.
he's a great
Yeah.
writer.
Yes.
I loved every bit of his book. He got even got a bit emotional about his book on my podcast because I told him that I met somebody in the swimming pool who was standing in the swimming pool reading his book. And I'm like, here is a Pentecostal person from years ago, and someone's in water like a baptism
Amazing.
reading his book. I mean, it was so
Wow.
surreal.
Wow.
And he started telling stories about people reading, but you guys, and then I missed you on the farm.
The farm. Oh yeah, he can play at our farm.
Yes.
I see Jim still kind of infrequently, but we make an effort to catch up every now and then. I'll see him at the J&J flea market. He's always there.
Always.
Yeah, he's given me a couple pairs of shoes every time he sees me. He's like, I found these at J&J. Gave me some pants. Yeah, last time I saw him at J&J, he's always got an eye out.
We'll always be friends.
Yeah.
Yes. I gave him one of my sister's book and a T-shirt, and I had never seen his house, and I was like, oh, wow, this looks just like what he would be living in. It's like, there's nothing that surprises me there. But anyway, I truly like it. There's a couple other songs that I really liked, Back Home. And I thought, that was really a way of you guys telling everyone that your listeners, yourselves, people around you that you may not even know, like there really is no place like home. And the joy of being home. And I feel that way too. I grew up in Jersey, and I say once a Jersey girl, always a Jersey girl, but I've been in the South for a long time. And every home that I've had, I feel like you make your own home, no matter where you are. So it doesn't mean that you're always going to be in the same place that's going to be your home, but when it is your home, there is no place like it, because you're comfortable, you're safe, and let's face it, I believe in feng shui, and I believe the way you set up your house makes you feel that way.
Totally.
And, like it really gives you, I don't know, I don't want to say exactly a spiritual feeling, but I cannot sit down in my chair to read or anything if there's anything out of place that doesn't make me feel comfortable.
And we're really going through that right now, actually, because we bought an old farmhouse in 2020, and we've spent the last 5 years renovating it. And it was abandoned, so it needed a lot of work. Dave pioneered that project himself. But now we just moved in a couple months ago, and we are still feeling out the space, and we just rearranged the music room a couple days ago, just trying to figure out what feels right.
You're going to do it 100 times more.
Yeah.
You are. You'll know it too. You'll know it when you know it. I don't have a real fancy house or anything like that, but my house is comfortable. I want to make sure my house is comfortable for not only me, but other people.
Absolutely.
So,
Same.
I don't know. But I do know you have honeybees on your farm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love the bees.
Yep, I have a
Dave's
jar of it.
Beekeeper.
I bought
Oh,
it that
good.
day with the album, and it is
Nice.
delicious.
Nice. We just have a new batch. I jarred. I think I got 40, almost 40 gallons this year.
Whoa,
And we still have some more supers to pull.
that's
but
a lot of honeybees.
yeah.
How come you have honeybees and other people? Are those the same bees that pollinate, or is that a different bee?
Oh no, they definitely pollinate. All bees pollinate something. The honeybees are what my bees are pollinating is, clover, tulip, poplar, not the magnolias, but they do go to magnolias. Beetles actually pollinate magnolias because they're ancient
Really?
trees. Yeah, they existed before bees did. Anyway, they really, there's sourwood in there. There's just so many wildflowers that they go to, blueberries. But yeah, I have about 30 hives. I think that's kind of my limit. I might expand a little bit more next year, but I love it. It kind of
My
keeps
husband
me
is
sane.
very jealous that you have. He has always wanted to do some hives, and he never has.
They're great. They're great. And sometimes it's, the first, I've been doing it for going into my 8th year, I think, or 7th year.
Wow.
It's a steep learning curve compared to other animals, or livestock. But once you kind of get a hang of it and you're knowing what to look for, it gets easier. And you do get stung a good bit.
I was just going to ask you
Yeah.
how much, but
I've
I
only
don't
been
count.
stung once.
really?
Yeah. And that's because the bee was in my shoe.
Oh, okay.
Not my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, you try to work the bees when they're like sleepy and gentle in the
Yeah.
morning, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to work them in the evening, and they're like us.
And
They've
do you
been-
have to have the nets on and stuff?
sometimes I'll be wearing shorts and I'll just be so hot and I'll just risk it.
I don't.
But I usually like to wear a veil and gloves, just because if they sting you in the eye, you have like a 50% chance of going blind in that eye.
Yeah.
So
Don't tell the people that.
well, they
Well,
should know to wear a
they
veil.
should know to wear a veil,
You
yeah.
see all these
That's
people on Instagram now that are just,
There's a couple of
Beekeeping
movies.
naked.
Yuli's Gold.
yeah. they're doing it for clicks, I mean, some of them do have the energy to, to not be a threat, but they're doing it for clicks.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, so there's Yuli's Gold about hives and it's what was Henry Fonda's son's name? Anybody remember? What was his son? It was Henry Fonda's son. in
Okay.
that. Peter Fonda, yes. So he had that, and then Queen Latifah did a movie that had bees in it. That was the sweetest movie.
What was
And
that?
she was I can't remember the name
I
of it.
remember that. I
Yeah.
remember something about that coming out.
Yeah, that she taught this little girl, was trying to help her learn a little bit more about life and how the honey, and she did that a lot with the honeybees and stuff.
We should watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Date night.
yeah. I hope you can find it. Actually, Yuli's Gold, you might be able to. I don't know. We have a lot of DVDs too.
Entertainment. It's important.
It is important. So it's so funny that you guys talk about your harmonies and stuff, because it always seems like when Dave is singing, and then it just feels like when you come in to harmonize. And I told you made that video yesterday. You got me going, but it felt like, or feels like to me when I watch it, is that you come just flying in like an angel and attach those harmonies to his voice, which is so exquisite in the first place. I mean, I try really hard to compare you guys to somebody, because I know so much older stuff and not so much newer, but I try and I really can't. It's very hard. I say, well, maybe if I tried, it would be something like the Avett Brothers, something in that kind of vein, because they kind of have a little bit of your style of singing,
Yeah.
but
see that.
it's still not. a comparison.
Yeah, we've had a hard time classifying ourselves as well. I feel like particularly, it's a little bit easier to classify me. I think Andrea is the...
I don't think so at all, but because it really is just like you both have very unique voices, and they are both as sweet as sugar. I swear.
Well, thanks.
But because you never get wild. And go a different way. A little bit in this new one, you've taken a few steps to outside of your norm.
Yeah.
Oranges and cream.
Yeah.
I really like that. And what are some? I actually wrote a couple down. Let me see what they were, if I even have them still here. Well, they were some of the older ones too, like "Do Not Destroy."
Yeah.
So, with "Do Not Destroy," when I was listening to that again, you talk about how that field's gone, that building's gone, that kind of thing. Do you feel that's happening to Athens, somewhat, that, or buying the farm allows you to get away from feeling that all the time?
That's a good question. There are small victories that I think should be acknowledged, in Athens. One of them was, I don't know if you were keeping up with this, but in November of last year, basically where our farm is, a company called Vulcan was trying to bought up 900 acres. And we're trying to make it into an asphalt and concrete plant and a quarry. Yeah. And the community came together in a really amazing way. And Athens also came up, and
we beat them.
Yeah, we basically beat them.
Dave was on the board.
Well, I there was a board of commissioner meetings and then the planning commissioner meetings, and I went to both of those and spoke at one of them. And yeah, a lot of Athens came out to oppose it, and it was a huge victory to see something like that. And it was really empowering to just see people come together for that.
Yeah.
And
use all their powers.
It was
good.
remarkable.
Yeah.
It really was remarkable.
One
I felt
thing-
like this isn't even Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is a quarry.
One thing I found was a really common theme were people really just depressed with the state of the world and absolutely sure that this thing would go through and that there was really no hope in even trying. And I just can't live my life that way. But we did a fundraiser at the farm and raised some money, and then some great people in Athens donated to basically, after the commissioners voted it down, the company sued the county. They said, we're the
I don't remember
landowners. This just happened recently in May.
Oh.
So they were like, we're the landowners, and we should, it's our right to do whatever we want with our land, even if it means poisoning your water or blowing silica dust down your throat, Like we can do it. Whatever, the property line is here, we can do whatever we want. And the judge is Judge Green. I'll never forget this. And it was so empowering to hear him say this, but he said, we live in a democratic society and the will of the people matter. And I thought that's kind of when I left. I went to the court case, and it was also pretty cool that I spoke in one of the...
Can we make bumper stickers out of that?
Yeah.
We'll have to
we
quote
need
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that was cool is they didn't mention me in the court case, but they kind of did. They when I spoke, I was speaking. We're in an agricultural district, and this quarry would have been across the street from us. It was really, really close. And one of my worries was, like, silica dust gets distributed out of these places. It blows in the wind up to a couple miles away, and we're several hundred feet away. And it would be a northern wind that would carry it towards us. So in the springtime, we get those winds more frequently from coming from the Caribbean. That's also the time where honeybees are collecting their nectar. So all these flowers are opening, and on the tulip poplars or the black locusts or whatever, and that dust is blowing in and contaminating the nectar. So I was in this agricultural district, and we had a very pro-rural and pro-agricultural commissioner, and I kind of came from the perspective of first-generation farmer, like, hey, I'm trying to do this, and this operation really degrades the product quality of my honey, because now everyone's like, Dave's bee's honey is like toxic silica dust honey. Even if it's just like a small percentage, it really taints the whole operation.
It does.
And it also like doesn't incentivize me to continue doing it in agricultural district, which is, you know, what that district is intended to be used for. So they brought that up in the court case. They were talking about that. They had this huge hypothetical, you know, conversation about the beekeepers' concerns and whether that's actual weight for the commissioners to vote on. And the judge said it was. So we thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. What does a day on the farm look like?
Oh, man.
Mostly fixing things.
Fixing fencing so the cows don't escape.
Yard work. Lots of yard maintenance.
Fixing gates, fixing fencing.
Well, besides cows, what else?
Cows,
we
bees.
we have a garden.
Yeah, we have an herb garden.
We have an herb garden, and we have blueberry bushes and fig trees. We're still planning it out, and we don't have it quite.
You haven't had it plotted,
Yeah.
I think,
right?
like on a map.
We have it like a vision of it. It's just the budget for it is not quite there. So we
Right.
do
we
what
are
we
still
can.
musicians.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we're
And
really,
important ones.
yeah, we're really proud of the work we've done out there. We've
Yeah.
got a lot of things on the ground
And we
last
want to
year.
share the space. That's kind of what we're doing with these events. We're bringing people out to the land and giving them this experience. You know, I think it's really, that's what we feel called to do with the space that we're just caretaking for.
And you felt this way for a long time because in Do Not Destroy, that's what was there. I mean, the chorus is do not destroy what is mine, what also is yours.
Yes.
And so, I mean, that was written
That
long time ago.
That
15 years ago.
That kind of goes back to this land is your land, this land is my land. Woody Guthrie roots from that.
Yeah. Well, I really think, I mean, I'm always saying this. I'm sure my friends are like, Andrea, we've heard you say this 18,000 times. But like, I really think that people underestimate what nature is doing for us. Trees in general, like they're cooling our earth, they're cleaning our air, they're providing us, you know, beauty and environment, and they're retaining our soil. Like and they're doing so much work for people that aren't people, right? Other creatures that also need to exist on this earth, and they do stuff for us too. So I think it's just this, you know, well, I've got land, I'm gonna do what I want with it, just exactly like the quarry, you know. But we don't realize what we're taking from others when we just, you know, graze everything.
I love that because I truly agree with you. You know, I mean, this words long before roads and the busy highways, before the lights and concrete that fill it up today, before the plastic promises that sold us what was free. I remember a bit better side of this country, and we are feeling that more than anything. And so I think you can't stop writing these lyrics. Okay,
we don't worry, we won't. It hurts my heart to drive even down 316 and 85 right now.
Oh,
they're
right?
just completely, you know, deforesting our entire state. It's like,
One thing I learned through that whole quarry resistance, I learned pretty quickly that trees don't have rights, and that our government really operates, especially on a local level, a lot of these things operate how places are zoned and how they affect economics. And I feel like right now we're starting to see that the economics is kind of the snake that's eating itself, and the nature and all that we get from humans get from just sunlight or being in the trees is somewhat priceless, and
Absolutely.
how we're made to be.
Well,
Yeah.
we could go on and on about that. I feel pretty certain about that.
Yeah.
But it does help, I think, you probably being on a farm.
Yeah.
So, I always say I wish I had done that. Because my husband grew up in Chattanooga, and his mother ended up marrying someone who had 300 acres.
Wow.
And so we taught our kids how to fish on the pond, and
Beautiful.
we had all those, and they were a mile into the road. And I have a girlfriend that has just a beautiful piece of property in Maltha Wilson, Virginia, and her driveway's a mile, and I think I couldn't do that now. I don't think I could do that now. I don't think I could place myself in solidarity. Well, one, I'm very social, but two, I think about as you get older, you do need a community around you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is not people don't really talk about the isolation.
But I think that's what's kind of special about what we have is we are choosing to create community around the space that we have. And little by little it's working. Like Dave is like, my neighbor is my person, he's out talking to the neighbors and making friends with everybody, and I'm bringing my friends and my family out, it's very like, yeah, we want to, like I said, we want to share it.
I'm like Dave. I talk to anybody walking by and say, no, I do, because I believe it's important to know your neighbors and to know who is your community right there in front of you. And I tried to actually get a group of like women together to talk about the neighborhood a lot and everything. And it worked for, a few months. And then, it just kind of dissipated and nobody really thought maybe it was that important. I don't know. Maybe we were drinking too much wine and talking about it. But so your new album, let's talk about it.
Switching gears.
Let's switch gears a little bit because well, first of all, the cover. Let's just talk about the
we
cover
would love to talk
first.
about the cover.
Let's talk about the third eye.
Okay.
Let's talk about the
you saw
faces
it.
on the bottom,
Yeah.
smiling at each other. The birds.
Yeah.
The frogs.
The what?
The
frogs.
frogs.
She
Oh
hasn't-
yeah,
she
the
hasn't seen
frogs.
the back.
And
She hasn't
they
seen
the what did I say about the frogs? I can't remember.
There's frogs on the front.
Oh,
there's frogs on the front. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
They're like little tree frogs, and but it feels like you're creating a sense of meditation
Yes.
for the chakras.
Yeah, wow, you're right on it. Well,
Okay,
so you're right on it. So that drawing was done by Flournoy Holmes, who is a brilliant artist and album artist that you already know of because he did Eat a Peach by the Allman Brothers.
Oh.
And he
did that cover?
Yeah. He
Oh,
did,
you guys, how wonderful that
yes,
is.
he's a legend.
And he did Dr. John.
Dr. John, Right Place, Wrong Time. He's done a bunch of stuff for Widespread Panic and just a
I'm
bunch
gonna have
of
to look
Georgia,
all his stuff up now.
bunch of Georgia musicians.
Well, the reason I kind of am into that a little bit is I do meditate, especially in MRI machines, by the way.
Oh.
It gets me far, far away. But anyway, I did social media for people before I came to Athens and stuff. And one of the women was a woman who had a chakra website, and she sold the beads and a lot of things and stuff. So I did her social media for her. So I learned quite a bit about the chakra, and it taught me how to meditate on each chakra. And when I saw that album, I'm like, oh, there's the third eye. Oh, there's this and there's that.
Awesome.
So I'm so glad I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I am so glad I get it.
He was very intentional about that.
Oh yeah.
He was awesome to work with. It was a lot
Did
of
you
fun.
tell him what you wanted, or
Loosely? It was
Well,
very loose.
that was the mask and was his idea. we had an initial conversation about what we wanted it to feel like. And, you know, he was saying, I'm thinking nighttime. I'm thinking, you know, we want it to be pastoral, animals, you know, flowers, nature, all the things in that realm. And then he called us one day and said, I've got it. And it's going to be this mask. And I was like, I was a little bit, honestly, I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh no, this is not what we talked about.
Yeah.
But when we saw it, it was just like, he was like, trust me, it's iconic. And we saw it and it was. And
It is.
yes,
It truly is.
it's really cool.
And I want the T-shirt. So
Oh yeah,
I'm getting the
that's good
T-shirt.
to hear. That's good to hear.
We'll make some.
There was a song, I think it was Oranges and Cream, that you say, you fit so perfectly in my head. Holy shit. I loved that.
Thank you.
Those words. I don't know why things like that touch me. It just, the words fit so great together.
Because you're romantic.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
God, I always thought I was kind of a bitch, but
You are not.
well, I'm a Jersey girl, so there is some aggressive behavior. You can't
I think
always
it's
lose that.
forthright behavior.
Oh, forthright. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying from now on.
Good. Good.
But I just it hit me. You know, you're sitting there listening, and something. You know, it's almost like it comes off the page. You know, the music sheet or something. But you're just listening. It comes into your ear.
Oh, thank
Just those words. You're listening and listening. Then all of a sudden you hear, you fit so perfectly in my head. I'm like, gosh, I want to write like that.
you.
But
Do you write?
I do write some songs a little bit here and there.
Cool.
And they're well, I don't know. Some of them aren't bad.
Yeah,
They're not, they're not great, but
you gotta be nice.
I bet they're good.
The artist is the worst critic, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't know why. Every now and then I get a phrase in my head and I start writing about it. Things that, things of childhood and family and stuff like that too. But is the song Oranges and Cream a general love song, or do you find yourselves using your relationship as the impetus of many of your songs?
It's different depending on who you ask.
Okay. Am I going to start something here?
No.
Okay.
No, we talk about everything. But for me, I'm a really, I feel things first. And so when I'm writing a song, it's all happening in the moment. It's a feeling. I got to get it out on the page. It's like almost like I'm receiving something. I'm the antenna. And I think that Oranges and Cream is very much, it's definitely about my true love. But it's also more about loving life and being, taking up space. I think Oranges and Cream for me is really about being bombastic and seeing how big I can make this thing. And I've never taken up space like that before. And so it's really it was a song that I really just kind of released my love from the little space I was.
So you're saying that these words are in your head and they have to come out.
They do.
It's like John Lee Hooker.
Yeah.
Let that girl boogie woogie, and in them whatever. But that's what it's all about. You got to let it come out. That's what that whole song's about. These are some other sentences. Now I don't know if I got them all right because I was writing.
That's okay.
The blood comes to the surface.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good
That
one.
one caught
For
me.
the journey. That is.
Yes, and that's your song. That's your video last night.
It's
telling
coming
you,
out.
you hit me, girl. You
Yay.
hit me with that.
Good. I think that song is, like I said, it's all those persistent questions of life. Like, how do you know it's true love? how do you know it's real life? How do
That's
you
one of the ones I wrote. How do you know it's real life?
right?
Yeah.
And it's
And these are all in different songs and stuff too.
totally.
So
And I think that the beauty of writing a song like that is that it's going to be different based on where you are in your life. And I believe that songs, after you write them, are not yours anymore. They belong to you and to you and to you and to you and to you. And like the listener completes the cycle, the circle, the whatever, you know?
well, you say couldn't be completed without your love.
Exactly.
And I know who you're talking about there. There was one, Poison Your Brainwaves. What was coming on about that?
Well, it's funny because I usually start writing a love song and then I'll stick in a little political commentary because I don't know, sometimes it's you know, love should be more than just romantic. And I think that for me, it's like, you know, if we can extend that love to more people, the more better we'll all be. So
I concur.
Thank you.
I concur. I could go on
Good.
with all those
We're
song
kindred
and
spirits,
stuff.
Marlene.
I think so. Well, you know what? You're very much like my sister that just passed, but she wrote about.
sorry.
I'll talk to y'all about.
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But she
yeah.
wrote a book about Bob Marley that when she interviewed him.
I'd love
Whoa.
to.
In
I'd
1979.
love to read that.
Wow.
I'm going to show you later, but because you remind me of her, and you talking on that video last night, I said, "Oh my gosh, that she would have loved Kathy."
Oh, Kathy.
But anyway, are you guys going to play something?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do we have time? We do, don't we? Surely we do. It's the last show of season 4.
Wow. Thank
So
you
we have
for
to.
saving your finale for us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I can't say enough about you guys and you know, trying to see you every time. My husband really loves you guys. I asked him, "Do you want to come sit in?" And no. Because he likes Roses.
Roses by My Side.
By My Side,
That's
yeah.
a good one, yeah.
He just loves that one.
That one's about
That
Andrea.
is a love song.
Yeah.
And I will say that we have a lot of similarities. My husband, like I said, he and I have been together 50 years, and he says the first day he saw me, that he loved me. So that's kind of neat that you kind of had that thing going, and we grew into that kind of thing too. We didn't get into a relationship for over 2 years, so it's kind of the same little.
Yeah.
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 But
It's like
I digress,
planting a
and
seed.
let's see what you got to.
Yeah.
What are you going to play?
Yeah, what are we going to play?
I think we're going to play About You
Okay.
and maybe quick unless you have what's
no,
that word?
I want it to
A
be from the
request.
new.
From now on,
Album.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
so
About
About
You.
You and Quick Buck.
Yeah, Quick Buck. It's
Okay.
a good one to do. This is a song about scrap metal.
Yeah.
Well, let's do that.
All right.
Cool.
I had no reservations in my mind. Don't matter who leads, who falls behind. You want Let's keep it.
I got one flub, but it's all right.
I had flip too.
All right.
That makes it real.
How do you guys feel?
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Oh,
Aw.
thanks. Oh, no. We don't need that. We meant, did we get it? But thank you. Cool. Let's do quickie book.
Okay. Ready?
Always.
Watching the train going down the line, steady as she goes. Spinning my wheels, going round and round, not too much to show. Kicking a can down the road, scratching that itch, digging that hole, just wasting away with my thumb in the wind. One foot in the door, sneak the other one in. Making the rounds in the old pickup truck. Garbage is out, I could use a few bucks. $1 a pound for aluminum cans in the old copper eyes of a scrap metal man. I need a shortcut around Sparta. I need a quick buck. Quick buck. He's got bicycle wheels and alternators, old lawnmowers and radiators, iron stoves, wire hanger. He's got filling tanks filled up with carburetors. He's got license plates, tire weights, railroad spikes, cargo freight, rusted locks, engine blocks. Hope you got your tetanus shot. Nail wire, broken tire, nuts and bolts, beat up tires, copper, cobalt, iron, steel piled up. Make a deal. You silver spoon ain't worth a damn in the old copper eyes of a scrap metal man. Your silver spoon ain't worth a damn in the old copper eyes of a scrap metal man. I need a shortcut around some hard luck. I need a quick buck. Quick buck. Your silver spoon ain't worth a damn in the old copper eyes of a scrap metal man. Your silver spoon ain't worth a damn in the old copper eyes of a scrap metal man. Your silver spoon. Your silver spoon. Thank y'all.
Feel good about that one?
Yeah, that's
Aw,
You guys like it?
Thank you.
thanks. Thank you.
Yay.
That is pretty much how I see your album. And it's all about you and all those other things. And I don't know what to say about Quick Buck, or what, you know, but the album is wonderful. The cover it just really got me because I really felt the cover. And I'd probably be like on my wall doing my meditation, looking at the third eye. You know.
We'll
But-
tell Flournoy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and singing
Of course.
for us in this wonderful recording studio.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and thanks
now we-
for the wonderful interview and for being so engaging and
Oh, you're welcome.
doing your research on this.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not hard. But
Big shout out to Tweed as well.
yeah, yeah. Again, thank you.